All right, today I've got a fairly new movie for us. 2020's Shadow in the Cloud. So this stars Chloë Grace Moretz. Like a lot of movies from last year, I think it kind of suffered. It's got its release kind of killed because of COVID. But this is kind of an interesting movie. This movie is crazy. So, what's it about? During World War II, they're in the Pacific Theater, which is, a little different instead of being in Europe. So they're in the Pacific. There is a B-52 bomber getting ready to take off. And Chloë Grace Moretz shows up. And she's like, I got a mission and I got to deliver this package. Of course, being a woman during World War II, the men are not really welcoming into it. They're like, who are you? What's your deal? What's in this package? Well, they can't trust her. And she's like, it's classified. Don't look inside the package.
Nothing about that package is affecting anything on this airplane. Do not, under any circumstances, open it.
So they end up throwing her into the ball turret. Why? They just do. And so I'm not going to go into more of the plot because it does get kind of crazy. Some very interesting things happen. It reminds me I think it was one of the first episodes of Amazing Stories where it is about a guy in a ball turret and he's trapped in there, but he's likes to draw. And that sort of famous one where he draws some wheels for the plane because the plane has lost its landing gear, and if he's underneath, so he's gonna die because he's trapped in there. Kind of reminds me of that. Kind of reminds me of a famous Twilight Zone episode, but let's just say it is unpredictable. And the movie, the director, she is a fairly new director. This is her biggest budget. But even then, this is pretty small. They spend a lot of time with just the camera on her, Chloë Grace Moretz, trapped in this ball turret. And we hear the men on the radio. And the men are pretty sexist towards her.
Hello, boys. I hope you don't mind me tagging along today.
I'm sorry, baby. Didn't realize we was on the air.
Yeah, sorry. We were just complimenting.
Oh, you should be careful now. Wouldn't want me to get a big head.
I can give you a big head anytime, sweetheart.
And sometimes when they're talking, we just sort of see them in a black room, kind of like monsters out of the darkness type things, saying the terrible things to her. The direction is pretty good, but there are a couple things that are kind of negative about it. In particular, there is one scene where Chloë Grace Moretz, her character, goes outside of the plane while it's in midair. And they show her she's hanging upside down, and the camera then rotates. They're trying to make it interesting, visually interesting, but the whole time she's out there, you're kind of like, oh, wait, she's actually upside down. And so you kind of have to keep reminding yourself of that. Probably would have been better just to leave her upside down. It does make me really interested to see what this director is going to do next. I think she's from New Zealand, so I think she's doing some TV show down there. But I think she would do a great job on, a bigger budget superhero movie. So this movie, like I said, I'm not going to tell you a lot more than that. It gets crazy and goes in unusual directions. I think it ends up doing pretty well, though. So I'm going to give it 3 thumbs up. Fasten your seatbelt. We're in for a bumpy ride, but a good landing.